Reuters reporting today the U.S. can only confirm that about a third of Iran's missile arsenal has been destroyed. This is according to sources they say familiar with the U.S. intelligence. I want to bring in now Hudson Institute senior research fellow, Rebeccah Heinrichs. And just, Rebeccah, just your thoughts on the latest news. You know, of course, we never know because there's always some sort of a senior official, never an official name, but just your thoughts overall.
Well, first of all, just as you say, Charles, I would take these sources with a grain of salt. They don't have names to them. I would look to what Admiral Cooper, who is leading Central Command, what he has said, which is that the United States and Israel's efforts against Iran in epic fury has resulted in a decrease of Iranian launches by 90% from the beginning of the conflict. But of course, Charles, we do know that Iran had amassed a massive missile arsenal. So it's not just the number of missiles that we're trying to get after. We're also going after their launchers, and we're doing launcher hunting inside these mountains. It's kind of hard sometimes to see where they are. But the longer the United States is in there, the more our intelligence is even better, and we are eliminating the threat.
So that brings me to a big question. Last week, when they launched those two missiles toward Diego Garcia, people were saying, well, where were they? How did they hide them? Apparently this Yads area where there's a big mountain, they've created this sort of subway system and it's pretty effective. And the problem is our bunker busters, the traditional bunker busters, they don't go deep enough. And the way I read it last week, and since then we've heard that the 82nd Airborne is coming, that maybe we wouldn't need troops on the ground to finish up, to polish up that kind of work, to go in there where we can't get to with traditional air power.
Well, you raise a really good point, Charles, which is that the longer that we're in there, and we've only been operating inside Iran now for just over 3 weeks. But the longer we're in there, the more the Iranians are revealing their hand. So some of these places where we weren't quite sure where they are, they fire from them. Oh, my goodness, now we know where this particular site is. We see what kind of thing that we need to do in order to put a weapon on that target. As you say, Charles, we are now moving significant numbers of forces into the region, but that doesn't mean we're going to use all of those ground forces. Sure. Each of those different units are trained in different ways. So if the president does determine, like in this particular site you just mentioned, it requires a specialty, we might see some kind of specific sort of raid going in there and dismantling, especially all of these kind of missile sites that are along the coast.
I got to ask about media coverage. The Economist, which is just like, they have a cover out today. We're going to share it with the audience that essentially they're saying Iran is winning. Iran has control of everything. And it's not necessarily surprising. Overall, media coverage has been absolutely phenomenal. There's one company that's followed the coverage and just, using war crimes or war criminals. And the BBC, for instance, 100% of their coverage has used the war crimes and directed at the U.S. or Israel. CNN half the time, NBC 89% of the time, New York Times 89% of the time. It's just, I don't know how we could fight a war. I never knew that there's a war where the media was openly rooting against America.
Well, it's an important thing to keep in mind that we are living in an era of essentially information warfare, that even these American news channels are not going to be reporting it in a way that helps the American people have a clear understanding about what's going on. But the United States, to be totally clear, the United States and Israel are the paragons of doing very intentional targeting to hit military targets, not to hit civilian targets. When we do accidentally or have some kind of civilian casualties, it's always a regretful thing. Contrasting that to the Iranians, which are directly on purpose targeting civilian targets. And then we also heard yesterday that there was a general in Iran who's now saying that there's going to be terrorist activity targeting parks across the West because of the United States' efforts with Israel to take out this the largest, most prolific terrorist state in the world. The Iranians target civilians. The United States, as Israel, always targets military targets, regime targets, never, ever, ever targeting civilians. We're trying to really lift this regime off of the backs of the Iranian people so they can take back their own country, Charles.
I got just 30 seconds. I want to ask about, well, we know, Trump gets a lot of pushback on his messaging, but I think the big question everyone has, the bigger question, of course, is the timeline, potential timeline. Is it just too hard to figure right now, or markets really, of course, are really on edge? The sooner they think this thing will be over, the better it will be for financial markets.
Well, and the markets are going to do better if we remove the largest state sponsor of terrorism from the threat from the Middle East. So I think everything that I'm hearing, that President Trump is still committed to finishing the job, finishing this mission. I still think we're several weeks away from that. And then once that happens, you are going to then see an international effort go in and open the Strait of Hormuz. And then you'll see energy flowing through, that 20% of global energy going through the Strait of Hormuz. So I still think we're several weeks away, but we got to finish the job. We do not want to leave a wounded rump regime in place continuing to terrorize the Strait of Hormuz, Charles.
I agree. And I also think that the peace dividend will last for decades. Rebeccah, thank you very much. Always appreciate you.